everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother. Welcome to my channel on my YouTube. I am Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self. On my TikTok, I am 1974 Enlightened Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook. Lately, I've been doing a lot of lives with regards to spiritual awakening, because that's what we're all going through right now. And it's different for everyone, depending on what it is that you're working through or what have you. Today, this is part 6 of the spiritual awakening. Before I get started, I do suggest that people new coming into my channel, if you don't know or understand what my channel is about, I recommend that people go and read my description on my YouTube channel, Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self, because it can get intense and it can get kind of complicating for some, because I connect directly with spirit. I go as spirit to spirit. So when I'm channeling things or when I'm speaking or what have you, or if I appear to get a little assertive or what have you, it's not directed towards you as a person, but it's directed towards a spirit within the parts of the collective. So if you're having a reaction, whether you're laughing or you start crying or get angry or pissed off at me or what have you, that's the part of your spirit that is connecting in one way or another with what I'm bringing forward from the spirit that's coming from me. The secret of Dory is and today I'm speaking about standing in your power, right? Because we all have an authentic, unique power within us, and it's been suppressed through programming. When I first started doing this, channeling my ancestors, like this different forms of spirit and angels and guides and the collective and what have you, and I actually had somebody with like the really weird eyes and what have you. And if you want to say I'm crazy, well, that's your opinion. But the thing is, I know differently because I'm comfortable standing in my power. If I stand out or I look crazy or like just right out there, that's okay for me. And I say it's okay for me because it's that part of me. Being in my power is being able to be my authentic self, not suppressing those parts of me anymore. And some people, they'll say to me, well, you never used to be like this. Like, why are you like this now? And I'll say again, I died and came back. And when I came back, I had different abilities. I do signing and I do the different languages and what have you. And I was doing some research within my own genealogy line, and they had my ancestors had been suppressed and told that basically you're not allowed to speak that language. Kind of like the natives, the indigenous communities, where Cornwallis and all those ones come in and told people that they couldn't be who they are because, well, this is how things are supposed to be. They say, like, they want everybody speaking English. Does everybody realize that English is the hardest language to learn because it's a lot of play on words, it's manipulation, and I really don't care in that sense of, like, who wants to rip me a whole new one because you're an English-speaking person. I'm speaking English, but I'm also channeling my ancestors, the forms of spirit that say, speak the corrupt dialect, as they call it. I did a lot of the research and looking into it, and it really started irritating me. It started pissing me off. Because if somebody doesn't understand you, But I'll say it to English-speaking folks and what have you. When you have someone that comes from a different country that speaks a different language, right? If they're doing it and they're working and they're communicating with one another, and you don't understand them, do you look at them and say, "Will you stop talking like that because I don't understand what you're saying?" I have a lot of ancestral line because we're all connected, and a lot of them are really pissed off and irritated with it. Because there's ones that don't understand that want everybody to, you know, if we speak English, you have to speak English too. You have to learn our language. Well, why are English speaking people not learning other cultural languages? Why are English speaking people always trying to suppress someone else's language? Well, this is why. Because you're so damn self-conscious that you think just because somebody's speaking another language that they're talking about you. Is your ego that big? It was in 17, around about 1752 that my ancestors that speak the corrupt dialect came to the province I live in. And in ways they were an outcast. And a lot of it had to do what Edward Cornwallis was bringing forward. But now I'm not saying it's just one-sided. Because it was a time when it was the French and Acadians, and even some of the Scottish, and that were all, it was like against the British. And I'm not throwing shade because I have British ancestors too. I'm like, I would hazard to say I'm a purebred, as some would say, mutt, because I'm a mixture of everything. And I'm here to tell you we're all mutts because we're all a mixture of everything. We just, appear different. In different places that I've been following my ancestral line, I've also been like connecting on a psychic level, medium level, and connecting more directly with those ancestors to find out what actually went wrong, what happened. And I'm learning ways to like figure out how to connect with the right people. Because a lot of this stuff, it goes back to those times as to why everyone is fighting with one another. If I don't respond to your messages, I don't have my glasses on, and I just kind of channel. I still don't know how or when I'm going to bring other people into the conversation. As I said, like if you want a message, if you have a story to share with me, by all means, I would love to hear your story. The good and the bad parts of it. But I want to see everybody standing in their power, not fighting against one another, but learning how to be your authentic self so that you can come into your own abilities. I have someone that, they have a stigmata with regards to the word witch. And a lot of that comes from, the Salem witch trials, burning witches at the stake. And I know I was one of my ancestors, your ancestors. You just don't know it because you're not taking the time to familiarize yourself. And some people say, oh, well, I don't need to know about my ancestors. Well, if you don't need to know about your ancestors, why the fuck are you fighting with other people? You don't know. I know that where my ancestors are alive, that there was a storyline going around of what happened to my sixth, seventh great granddad, that I allowed myself to channel to find out the truth, because that creates a war and a rift between, it becomes two families. Because they think it was one person that killed him, one group of people that killed him because of a story, but it wasn't. He got killed because he was protecting people. And I'm beginning to kind of see things differently in the aspect of, was it his own children? Because they were different. And there was a bounty for their heads, scalpings. And that day, I actually found something, and I gotta see if I can find it again. They said one adult and three youth were still at my granddaddy had three children from his first marriage. So if people are angry in ways they have that right to be angry. See, that's how rumors get started, because somebody starts one thing. And right now I'm in my power, because it takes a lot of strength to be able to come on and allow yourself to be authentic, to show your feelings and your emotions, because everybody tells you you need to suppress your stuff. And that's where the anger is coming in, because it's our family, it's spirit coming up through us to try to bring truth to light. I come off to some as, oh, you're really angry. And it's like, you say I'm angry, but you have not a fucking clue what my life is like, or what I go through, or what I channel or experience. I love going out and just being in my power and being my authentic self, and others don't like it. And when they don't like it, it's only because they are unable to do it themselves. Some people will even just go hibernate, because to some it's unacceptable. And it's certain affiliations, certain groups. And then when truth comes out and truth tries pushing its way through, that's where you get the propaganda one against, like, someone bringing truth to light to show both sides or all sides of everything. It's a part of doing the inner work. When you do the inner work, the work you do within, you start seeing it in your physical, your truth in your physical. And I feel that, I have somebody that it's like This isn't directed toward the person per se. But if your part of your spirit is doing it to me, because right now I'm getting the feeling that, they want to shut me down. And it's like, it's probably the ones that want to shut me down. A very good possibility are the ones that are more deeper in this. And I'm not throwing shade on religion. I'm not throwing shade on anyone's religion or what have you, because a lot of war right now is going on, like a lot of hate going on with Christians and Catholics and Muslims and Jewish people and what have you. And I'm getting sick of it. Seriously. Because what's misunderstood is everyone, like people say, well, Christ. Okay? And one religion believes that their religion is the only one that's right and the rest of them are wrong. But it's all Christ consciousness. And the Christ consciousness, if you look at okay, this is going to irritate some people. Okay? There's two forms of Christianity, like Christian. Okay? Because they fought against each other. Christian of the man, that's all man. And then the Christian of Christ consciousness, which was Mary Magdalene, which was what both Mary Magdalene and Yeshua were bringing forward. Because it's the part of being both masculine and feminine. The mother, the father. And I know that, like, I just watched today that they had found some dried blood that was said to be Yeshua's. And they said that they found 23 chromosomes that was the mother, and then one that was the father, but the father wasn't human. So that's why they perceived Yeshua as God. It's like about Mary being a virgin. But if you look at different parts of things too, if you go back and you look at how it all connects, some of Mother Mary's as a family was a virgin. There was actually Stingray, I think it was. Stingray it was in the States. It was in an aquarium with sharks. And Stingray got pregnant. And at the aquarium, they couldn't understand how it got pregnant. Because it was sharks. A shark couldn't understand it. They later found out that somehow the stingray impregnated itself. Do I believe everything? Well, I believe that everything has its place and purpose. And, some may not like me for this, and some may look at me like I got 100 heads. Maybe I do. We got a gazillion heads. But I believe that anything is possible. You know, they say some amphibians can actually change their sex. Um, I believe it was maybe Aphrodite had both male and female parts. They call them hermaphrodites. But in some families, if their child is born a hermaphrodite, they pick what sex they want the child. But it doesn't make it right because you could have both, but one dominant over the other. We're always wanting to change something about ourselves, whether it be small or big. Some of it is how our body looks. So people go get like sex change, or they go get breast reductions, or bigger butt cheeks, or cosmetic surgery like Botox and in their face and stuff like that. But that's the part that stems from self-esteem, and that stems a lot of the time from being a child because you feel like you're not worthy, and sometimes people are not comfortable in their own skin. I know there was periods when I wasn't comfortable in my own skin for the longest time. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin because of my stretch marks. I had like the way my stretch marks were around my breast. I had somebody say, "Oh, I had starfish for breast." I was told that I had thunder thighs. Well, now I got no ass. For the long, like when I was younger, I would stand up for people. I would stand up to bullies for other people. And then I got into a bad relationship over and over again. Bad relationships. So I had no self-esteem. And and then I started struggling with standing up for myself and others because what ended up happening is you get that beating on you physically, mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. Like in '99, when I used the Ouija board and I was explaining things to the doctor, I was experiencing some weird freaking shit in that part of my waking. And then when I come again, because when it happened, it was just like it wasn't slow either time, and it wasn't over time. In this part, it was quick, and it was just like boom, and it is enough to make a person appear like they've gone crazy. Because I even thought that I was going crazy in some points, because that's why I like went and signed myself into the psychiatric. But then I realized that the medications not helped me, and then I started thinking back in 2020 or 2021 when I went in the hospital for this, like, for the first time in this part of my awakening, I was sitting there and it was, I'd hold a remote control and it was like sticking to my hand. It was such a, like that. And I was like, get it off, get it off, get it off. Then at that time, there was a younger man. His name was Christian. So I know he was telling me, he was telling me something. And he'd come in and he was going like this and he was making weird sounds. Like, there was a lot of clicking sounds. And then my higher self, spirit, stepped in for me and went like that to him and said, whoa, like, just stop, because it was throwing it all around. And we all around, it was stop. I'm like, see, Yeshua, moving energy, working with energy, energy healing. And he was being authentic. Because the thing is, we all have that gene. It's just been suppressed and manipulated. And some don't. Some people, they're still in that limited belief system and not understanding, because it's not put there for you. It's not put right in front of you for you to see it or understand. People say, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. If you're not believing in God, then what that is, it's a lack of belief in yourself, of what you can do, because you are that part of God, and God, Spirit, is experiencing itself through you. So if it's experiencing itself through you, then you're that part. I'm not saying that it's the infinite. We are fragments. We are pieces of, but it doesn't mean we're not gods of ourselves. We are our own creators. At least we're supposed to be. It's not supposed to be somebody else telling you what you can and cannot do. It's you using your own discernment, you using your own common sense, you using your own ability to feel your true heart. Someone tells me, like, go to university, go to university because I get accepted. And then I sit and I think, like, oh my gosh, like, I know that when I'm speaking in different forms of language, I know that I'm bringing knowledge to people. And spirit, it's up to us as spirit individuals to learn how to feel our way through it. So that's my part of being in my power. I went to a fair the other day and I was standing there and kind of suppressing myself, but spirit wanted to come out. Spirit just wanted to move and speak. But there was a part of me that was worried about what other people would think. And I went through the talk and come back. And I just started speaking. And they were standing up waiting for the ride, get on the ride. And they were putting that a dance monkey like moves. They don't know part of not knowing anybody can move like that. And I started just going with the flow and being in the flow. And the person with me, I could see them smiling. And I started doing it because when we were standing in the lineup, there were these three young boys, and I could feel them. And then all of a sudden, they started acting macho with each other, and pretending that they were going to kick each other and like fight with one another. You could feel spirit. And then I just, like I said, I just feel like people are looking at me and really saying it. And I didn't care if they did, because when people say something to me about it, I just do it all the more. Like there's so many people that, because their family believes one way, they won't show their iPad, they won't be their self because it's not accepted. But once you start accepting yourself, you start empowering yourself. You learn and start knowing your own worth, that you are worthy of greater things. And people think that humble is like having nothing. That's a stigma. That's a program. But it's about being open to sharing with others, because I've said it many times. What I want for me is what I want for everybody. But I hear some people saying, "Oh, well, I don't care about other people." Like seriously, maybe that's why you ain't fucking got hardly anything, or maybe that's why you lost everything. Yes, put yourself first, but teach others how they can have the abundance. You have the abundance. Teach others how to have the abundance. I'm getting like channels sometimes, and I'm wondering, like, was one of my ancestors a real asshole and dickwad to people? Because, like I said back before, in 2017, I contacted um, one of these paranormal places, and I was speaking to a medium, and she told me that a grumpy old man attached himself. Pretty sure, yeah. I live with that spirit of that grumpy old man, and it really pisses me off because he don't listen to nobody. I looked and I went around where my ancestors are like lived when they arrived here, and the things that they did. But where's their history? I went to one place to check out the genealogy line, and mysteriously, the name was on the thing, but it was a file of some. It wasn't even. It wasn't even their file. So then I looked up that another name of an ancestor, and it was in there, but the person was confused himself. And then they directed me to go to a museum, and I went to that museum, and the stuff was all about somebody else. But I have different documentation to show otherwise. Kaya sabi niya, "Dikitutuditai, sikisora kasara nufuzuri bagaya magwaya pa complete ay sanutai." And it's like, hey, there's a certain people that are looking for something, and hey, do you really know? Because there's things you're not finding what you're looking for, because what you're looking for has been hidden from you in many different ways. It's keeping you going down a path to keep you distracted from finding the real truth. And like I said before, the truth that is sitting in your face and you still deny it, hey? And that's the part of denying it because somebody else tells you that that's not real. That's not true. Not showing you, but this is a big part of it. Different things. And there's lots of people that are now looking into their genealogy. Where I'm at, there was a young woman that was looking in and changed things for the schools. But it's not about erasing everything. It's about bringing the truth of it all. The good things that the people did and the bad things that the people did. But instead, people just want to, people just want to erase it. So that's the part of it. They don't want the truth to come to light. They don't want there to be light in the darkness. But we are all the light in the darkness. It's just that spark. That one part of truth that will bring so much to light. And this is why they have you scrambled. This is why there's so much propaganda taking place. Like, if you look at stuff, like people are finding out that stuff that's being put as if it's happening today in some ways. There's actually stuff that happened, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, that they're saying is going on now. Anybody really look at, like the war in Gaza or what have you? It's basically exactly the same storyline as it was back. I can't remember if I read 2005 or 2015, in around there. So I figure, like, you know, how many of these people are actors or actresses? Because like what they say when the mask. If you watch Once Upon a Time and the last season, they have Alice from Wonderland, but they have her named on there as she, like, it's the forgiving, and she's named on there as too. And she tells Rumpelstiltskin, well, he's not Rumpelstiltskin in that part of this. Wiener Captain Wiener or something like that. He's a cop in that part. And Alice, Tilly is saying about taking off the mask. And she's saying, I don't want to take those pills because it makes me forget. It makes her forget who she is. And when we come forward, because if you look at every part of what they tell us as fairy tales, and you look at history, but see, unless you actually know about history, you don't see the connection. You know, there's a King George on Once Upon a Time, and there's a King George. There's Prince King David, King James, the Round Table, the Knights Templar, the Giants. Seriously, a lot of people are saying about Disney and the messages within it. They're telling the story. Only they're telling you, well, that's a cartoon, it's a fairy tale. Once upon a time, I was a little girl who grew up and later found myself. But throughout that journey, there were things that I didn't want to go to life. There was actually something that happened to me 8 years ago. And I even put it on here. I was sexually assaulted at my home because I was like having a sexual relationship with somebody and I didn't want. And I said no. They didn't take no. And then for years, I just kept getting angry because somebody kept working them around and I didn't want them around. There's parts that because I didn't want the truth to come out because of what the reaction would be, but I was also trying to, in my own mind, I was trying to help the person. I was putting my own pain aside. And then when I did come forward and tell them, someone it flew out of me like anger and vomit with people around. But that was my part of my untold story. I'm not ashamed of speaking my truth. I'm not ashamed of bringing my life experiences forward. Because I know that it's going to help others. And it's a part of don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of what you did. Take responsibility. Don't cover it up with drugs and alcohol or food or different forms of addictions and stuff to suppress it. Because that's what's going on. A lot of our children are sitting in the rooms and they're not saying what's going on in their life. And we wonder why they're doing it. It's because they don't, a lot of the time they don't feel comfortable talking about it. Because they get, shush, don't want to hear it. But when they do try to say something, if it's against somebody in power or authority figure, a lot of the time the adults will be the authority figures or children because we're told, oh, well, children lie. Is it the children lie, or is it the adults that are lying? And then the children lie for fear of being in trouble? Because they say that they didn't do something, but they're getting blamed for it anyways. They're getting in trouble for it. So then they just start saying, yeah, yeah, because they don't want to get in trouble, but they still get in trouble. I told my youngest son one time, it's always better if you tell the truth than if you lie about it and then the truth is found out later. Because it's your truth. And then it's that part of asking them, like, why did you say something? Why did you lie about it? Because it's the lack of communication. And communication is power. And I'm talking communicating with one another feelings. There's somebody in my life that told me when I brought this forward, you fucking like you lied by omission. Seriously? I'm here to tell you, dude, you fucking lie by omission all the time. And this is a spirit to spirit, and that spirit knows who I'm talking to. And when I bring things forward, those spirits know who I'm talking to. And I feel that right in there. It's like they want to crush my heart. Come on, Rumple. Come on, Darkwood. Come on, Gold. That's what they're like in the series Once Upon a Time. They used to do the story of Rumple. That was actually a true story. Beauty and the Beast was actually a true story. The Little Mermaid was actually a true story. People are finding mermaids washing the shore and everything like that, but people say, "Oh, well, that's just made up." Is it really, or is it, or are they just telling you that it's made up so that you don't know? You say Photoshop, yeah, but you lot. But I'm here to tell you, the stuff that is photoshopped, it's probably a lot of the lies within the system that's photoshopped. I don't like. I do these little things on TikTok sometimes to see, like, they have the makeup ones and stuff like that. My message to all the women, young and old, be authentic. Avoid using filters because natural beauty is the most beautiful of all. And it's not your fault if somebody else wants to judge you. That's because of the insecurities within themselves. Keep it listening. Some people can't handle being around you. You think I don't know that I'm not easy to be around because it can get pretty fucking lonely sometimes because you feel like you don't fit in anywhere. You know you're not dirt under somebody's feet, but you feel like, you know, sometimes it's that part of wanting to keep your sanity, so you stay away from everybody, which, we were never meant to be alone. The system did that so that we couldn't communicate and get along. There was times that I just wanted to leave where I'm living right now because things get so hard. And whenever I tried to ask or even talk so people would offer me a place to go. I was told, you know, you guys can't get along. And then it's that part of people wonder why I come off as being angry. I'm not the problem. You're not the problem. The problem is the ones that's doing this to us. And then there's parts of them. They're doing it because it was behavior they learned. Or sometimes they just want to, like, sometimes it's like, you know, if you divide people that like, you can't collaborate with things. So they fuck with the algorithms and everything like that. Because I know they do that on here. Because you think of it this way, okay? We have 8 billion people in the world. There's shit tons of people that go on YouTube, go on TikTok, and all these social media things, and you're being told that a very, like, maybe sometimes even 2 people are really watching. That's bullshit. It's a part of them screwing with the algorithms, especially screwing with the algorithms of people who are coming forward, being authentic, and speaking truth that they don't want out there. Because then what's my agenda? To free the people from their mental cage, to bring abundance to everyone, healing to everyone, to unite family, which is everyone. And I keep saying, like, even if, like, even if it kills me, this is that part where, you know, take the beating. It's okay. You know, if that gets you through every day, I'll go on my own and scream sometimes, and cry sometimes. I like, especially when that I know is the old man that attached himself to me. Him, I really want to rip him a whole new arsenal. Reason being because he's one stubborn old bastard and he talks about other people. And that spirit knows who I'm talking to. People think I'm an angry person. Well, you know, think what you will, but you don't know me. Trolls will come into other people's channel. I watched a video today where it was a woman that she was a younger woman who she said that she used to be an atheist and she'd go in and troll people like myself, people who were bringing uh, religion or spirituality to the surface. She'd go in and she'd troll them until she actually seen her own truths, the truth of what the true connection is. You can find people's stories in books, but you're not going to find God or spirit. You can go to church, which church is supposed to be about community, helping one another, not pointing different fingers at one another, or telling, like I said before, many times, or saying about one religion or the other. I do not enjoy going to church anymore. I walk into church and I don't feel at home. And church is supposed to be a place where you can actually feel welcome and at home. And I don't. And it's usually because I don't have the same belief system in that sense. I believe in this stuff in different ways. But I don't have the same belief system of, let's point fingers at a different religion, even though our religion's doing the same thing. Only we don't know it because we've only been taught certain things. We weren't told the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And when they put the fucking queen, you swear to God, okay? But in a courthouse, they have the fucking queen up at the front. Or the king, whoever it may be at the time. His Majesty or Her Majesty. Sometimes some like the Pope. Seriously? I'm not throwing shade on you. If you're taking it that way, well, that's on you. Some people put an image of Jesus, and some say that that's an image of the Pope's son. Some people say that Jesus, Yeshua, however you refer, is black. But I want to ask everybody, what the fuck is the difference of what the person's skin color is or what they look like? Because it's not that. It's not the part of what they look like. It's what are they showing you? What are they bringing forward to you? But, everybody's, a lot of people are too busy fighting over the appearance. Or different parts of the storyline when, in actuality, the whole storyline is all scattered all over the place, and we are the pieces. And we have to put our pieces together in order to find and see the bigger picture of the whole, opposed to the fragments. Like I said, in my place, I have like I almost like if you look around, you see different parts of almost like every different form, how people have religious beliefs and what they believe. It's not about going and killing people and stuff like that. Because if you look to a God who says that, oh, well, he's going to smite and he's going to kill these people, we all got put here to teach each other. Yeah, the teachers, they teach. But like sometimes the teacher, they'll get jealous because the student surpasses the teacher, but then the teacher doesn't even learn anything from the student who might have something different. Because, oh, well, I'm the master. It's like, sorry, but I'm my own master. Sorry. You're just told that you need somebody else to master you. Hey, puppet. Puppet master. Pinocchio. And then when it was done that the cords were cut from Pinocchio, Pinocchio became an authentic boy. And it said that he went down the wrong path and started turning back into wood. Started because lost his way, went into the system, that part of like we're now, which makes me wonder, we're in 2000, we're here 2024 years supposedly later. And a lot of us are still in that sleep or waking up. And then people like myself and others are there kind of trying to shake people. We can't wake you up. We can't make you see something that you're not willing to see. Because I'll tell you right now, I was going like this because, I was getting freaked out. There was parts of me that, I just want to go back to sleep. I don't want to know this shit. I don't want to experience it. But, after I allowed myself, experience it because spirit, God, source, creator, your parts, your ancestors, your angels, however you perceive things, because it's all the spirit aspect. Everything is coming in. It's consciousness, the awareness, the oneness. They say about the beginning and the end. But is there really a beginning and an end if everything is an infinity? Doesn't that mean it's just forever? This is a question. So perceive it how you will. But I am allowed to ask questions. And so are you. Some people say take it as gospel. But you don't have to take everything as gospel. Because just because it's like it's gospel doesn't mean it's always right. Keep it in. I am I come up as very emotional in different emotions. And it's because I'm feeling it all. So I feel the anger, I feel the frustration, I feel the sadness, I feel the joy, I hear I hear the screams, I hear the laughing, the mocking. But it doesn't stop me from still wanting to be around those people. And it's that part of trying to understand why that person is the way they are, why they're feeling. Because I went swimming yesterday and I was in the water and it was waves, and then somebody told me that someone down the road was afraid of waves, even little waves, because I couldn't understand. And I was kind of standing in the water, and then it was like I was feeling something on my leg, but there was nothing on my leg, and I was like, it was like somebody was trying to like move me in closer because they were trying to move. So I know that I was embodying that person, or that person, that spirit part of that person. I was experiencing it. This was just a quiet spirit. So I was experiencing it. And so what I ended up doing was like, it was like I was with that person, physically and spirit, physical spirit. And I had my arms like this, like this. And I was holding on to myself like this, walking forward in the water, and saying, it's okay. We're doing this together. Further. And then the waves will come, and I feel like I feel that spirit panicking and wanting to get out because I feel like that paddling, trying to fight me to get out of the water. And then at one point it was like, okay, I stood like that. I was there and I was holding on to myself, and I was like to the part of the spirit that was with me, that was afraid. I was like, okay. There was a wave coming, and I said, okay, now. I said, let's lean into the wave. And I went like that and leaned into the wave, come up, and it was like that. Like, the spirit was panicking. So, okay. So it's a part of it. When I'm experiencing things, I know that it's not always that part of me that is aware or consciously like I'm aware of it, but I know it's fragmented parts of myself. It's my shadow self, things that I have to deal with because I'm connected with that person. Because it's that part of I knew you and me. The limits. We're experiencing each other in different ways, whether it's physical field or whether it's dream state or what have you. You know, I never had a dream and it was so real because it was, whether you want to believe it or not. That's why sometimes, you wake up in the morning exhausted, you feel like you didn't get any sleep. But you don't remember waking up or like what have you. Like I get so like it's not a matter of like people think of me or what have you. It's a matter of that I am sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of watching other people throw shade on someone else because they don't believe in it. So if they don't believe in it, then it's not really true. That person's just psychotic and delusional. They're living in a fantasy. Like who was it? That Epstein, Epstein Island. Didn't they have movies kind of pertaining to shit like that? They were telling them. Some people throw shade on Donald Trump and Trudeau, Biden, and stuff like that. I understand more. But it's that part of what parts are propaganda, and do you know if what they're bringing forward is actually truth or is it propaganda? And I'll tell you right now, it doesn't matter if you were in the military or not. Do you really honestly think that you were being told the fucking truth? Seriously, it's that part of war is profitable. Have a look around at what's going on with war. Isn't money being spent left, right, and center, and people are starving? I know that I had somebody tell me that when they were somewhere like they had access to all the best foods, scallops and shrimps and all that stuff up in it. Good food. They had to keep you fed. And some of the clocks, the high superior ranking people were having all this fancy stuff put in their bunks, everything like that. Wine and cheese parties. Meanwhile, the people they say that they're trying to help are starving. Are you awake yet? It's a part of waking up to your own divinity and helping others to wake up to theirs so that everyone can stand united and say, hey, enough is enough. I'm not going to take this shit anymore. I see through the veil. I see through the corruption. And if somebody wants to throw shade on me, you might want to look at the shit that you said. Because I hear a shit pile of people talking about it. But then if things are going okay for them, oh, well, they're doing this for us. Are they really? How many people actually look at their pay stubs? Oh, wait, not many people get pay stubs anymore. Do you really check when you have direct deposits to find out if you get the right money? Because I know somebody that, they said that, oh, well, you got less money this year because you got a raise. What? You got less money this year because you got a raise. Ding, 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 ding. Like, really? Does a raise not mean that you get more money, not less money? Shit, who's got the math wrong? Because I'm sure the fuck it ain't the person that was supposed to be getting more and told that you're getting less because you got a fucking raise. Didn't people say that Yeshua was going around to these different places of the corruption and fucking flipping shit? You getting it yet? Oh, spirit's mad. And I can feel that. It's where I embody both masculine and feminine. Is it called the Christ and the Sophia? Keep going. Tell you right now, when you're the one experiencing this, it's pretty fucking trippy. And I didn't learn any of these languages anywhere because I've not even really been outside my province. The only place I've been was to another province to get medical treatment because they weren't treating me in my own province. They were treating me like a piece of shit. So I have no respect for systems. And right now, and for some people too. And those are the people that demand respect and figure that they should be respected, but don't want to give it. This is being in your power. This is me giving. Yeah, giving myself to spirit. I walk between the spirit world and the physical world. And when you figure out that that's happening, you start seeing things differently. Sometimes I don't like going out anywhere with other people. Reason being because it always ends up feeling like I'm in a competition with somebody and I'm not even part of it. Like I can't even, with some, I can't even talk to other people without being interrupted and felt like it's competition. Well, then, like, how many people watch the show Mad TV and the character that they had playing Stuart? Oh, look what I can do, right? It's okay. It's like, it's not about like one having spotlight over the other. A lot of time, that's what we're doing to one another because everybody, most people like attention in one way or another, and it's that part of people will take like accept attention, whether it be negative attention or positive attention. Either way, if they're getting attention, and if the only attention that they can get is negative attention, then they'll go after it because they're not getting what everybody should be. No one person should be left out of anything because there's never really, they may hear that there's an odd man out, but there's never an odd man out. They say, oh, well, there's not enough to go around. That's fucking bullshit. Because there's plenty to go around. It's just good for me. And other stuff is put in place to help with me. And if the guy that watched me on my Facebook last time, that I've known since I was a child, wants to throw shade on me, you know, say you go to church, but I'll tell you right now, if you're throwing shit at me, shade at me, you're not of God, no matter how much you tell me. And I feel like that spirit was here and that's okay. Because that's the part of the ego that just doesn't perseverance and go of that ego thinks it's better than everybody else. Because I'm no better than you're no better than me, but if you want to think you are wrong, people just don't like me now because I'm more outspoken and I'm explaining to people, you don't want to say this. You're going to hit somebody. And it's not always about walking away because, you walk away and the person thinks they got away with it. So they just go on to the other person. Si que está ahí, quiero futuro eso. Se lo tuve y para que lo voy a hacer. Es un futuro que lo voy a hacer. Was actually talking to someone yesterday. And when they went back off of form of went back, they were basically told that they were demoted. When they went on leave, they were doing a specific job because they worked their way up to it. And when they went back, they were told, oh, well, no, like this is what's going to happen now. We're going to put you back in a different place where you started in the first place. And we're going to have somebody else do the job that you were doing when you went on leave. Has anybody else had that happen? Legally speaking, they cannot do that. Because you go on leave When you come back, that same position has to be there for you. They can't demote you and put you somewhere else. They have to put you back in the position that you were in before you went on leave. And if they do that and they demote you, you have grounds to take it to task. Because in the end, it's that part of like, even, I believe, even if you leave because of what happened, it becomes a wrongful dismissal because they might want to say, oh, well, we still offered you a job. No, I had that job and I worked my way up to this. So this is my job. I ended up leaving because I was working as a paralegal and I was in a car accident and I was on leave. And in 3 months' time, she had gone through 3 different temps. And that was because, well, it was because they couldn't work the way I did. Time management. But there was some between her and I, and she had some nasty words for me when I said that I wasn't able to come back full time right away. Because I was going back, I was going to go back even before I was ready to go back. But they wanted me to come back full time. So for me, and I know I still have the documentation. So I wrote a letter and I told her everything this May. I didn't go against her, and it was my dream job. I was working family law as a legal assistant, and it was damn good at it. But I also see the corruption within the system, not only by working, but by personally experiencing. And by me coming forward and speaking my truth is my standing in power because I'm standing in my truth. They say myth. The myth is actually my truth. It means my truth. And it's like, the myth is actually your truth too, because you are part of that truth, your own truth. You are that myth. You are that part of that fairy tale. There's times where the one that I call the old bastard because he attached himself to me. There's times where I just like, I want to throw him through the wall, but I can't throw him through the wall because there's a person with a physical body. Sometimes I want to punch him. Sometimes my spirit and that spirit that embodies them, they go head to head. And then sometimes it's like they just want to fucking kill each other. But it's me and that other person that have to stand in their power and hold it back. because we're everybody is helping their spirits. So I think that this is a part that they say about mental health and it's spiritual. Get it, amazing. You know, like, sería solo me sería emo como te voy a sería this is not easy for anyone in their spiritual world, but it's worth it. Might be hard, but like fuck, it's worth it because it takes a big person, a strong person, and spirit knows that you all are strong. You just have been led to believe that you're not because somebody else isn't stronger than themselves. Kingdom of God is the such dreams that we make as humans, spirit beings. It's like when I get scared, feel free. That inner lion bitch comes forward and says, fuck you assholes. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. And an asshole can be masculine, feminine, doesn't matter. People like to call each other the bitches, the hoes. And I just heard someone say, and I don't even use that word. If it comes up, I spell it. I hate it. Because to me, it just means an ignorant person. Right. It's like saying to yourself, you're not really ever with yourself. Spirit's always with you. Yeah, but just sit there because what's happening is things are clearing. So it's kind of that sort of in the middle there. It's part of it's like you just as somebody told me one day, say, where'd you go? So then they go around and say, I was evaporating my walk through the woods one time. Man was like part of it, doing some stuff. Guy said he had to take a double take. And it's like it was a scandal. I've been called demonic. And it's the stigmata. Sarili. Tutuloy yan eh. That part of, I want to understand you. Almost don't try to understand me until you understand yourself. Because of the you know, is it hard doing this? It's not that it's hard. It's tricky. It's painful sometimes. Sometimes it's hard on the head, but then it's that part where I understand what these things. I know I'm feeling like I'm a person that is in a different emotion feeling because I'll start feeling like I have to start moving my own, moving my energy. It's like healing parts of me physically, mentally, I have a feeling that my mom is a lot like me, but got suppressed for her too. And then when that happens, you end up kind of, if you're unable to express it, you end up going inside. You end up curling up and blowing it all up inside because you feel like you can't speak the truth. You fear of what others will think or say. It's like, screw you. Like when people think it's okay to say whatever they want to someone else, but then, they say, well, the God that forbids you to say something bad is not my God. And it's not about insulting someone. But I will tell you, like with me and this, like with the spirit within me and the spirit within this other person, oh, they got a bad beef with one another. It's like, holy snapping arseholes. And sometimes I feel like the fucking kid in the middle, or kids in the middle. And it's just like, ding. The part of me to just get it better. But with me, I'm wondering, like, okay, well, like nothing bigger or bad really happened between us in the beginning. And then when I had my car accident, like I know I died in that too because I got a picture of the car, and in the car, like you blow it up big enough, like when you look in, there's a bubble up in the corner, and in that bubble, it's an image of me with my short hair, my hair all over the place, and I'm like this. And that was a part of me when I had that accent. That was a part of me that left me. And then I had a feeling for the longest time. I drove like 2 months after that, or a year after that, I started driving again because I was working. And then I stopped, I quit my job because I said, like, no, I can't go back. Because there was a few times where I had almost gone off the road because I wasn't, like, I was experiencing impaired cerebral metabolism. Like I said, impaired cerebral metabolism is a lack of oxygen and glucose getting to the brain. So anyone who suffers a traumatic brain injury or post-traumatic brain injury or concussion or anything like that, even people who had near-death experience or death experiences. See, the old bastard, I call them, because I know it's the spirit dealing with it. They were saying about, they were sort of mocking me because I said about like seeing the light and what dying does to a person. And this person's brother-in-law experienced near death experience. And instead of being like express themselves, they went inside themselves and it's killing because of people like that want to mock other people because they don't fucking understand what it is that people like that experience that actually go through. I know that when I was going to the sun, it wouldn't let me remember anything. And then I started having kind of like dreams, bizarre dreams, like very vivid dreams. I was experiencing it in one point. I had one vision. I was looking up at the sky, a bright, bright, bright blue sky. And it was like seeing many moon, Earth, moon, planets as far as the eye could see. And then I had dreams sometimes, because like like people don't believe that there's or what have you, but yeah, there is. And it was like I went down a hill, and as I was going down the hill, it was a vision of a big planet close by where I was going. It was like there were planets, and it was very close to me. I was going down the hill, and then I ended it up in a place that was like it was like a cabin, but it was like it was some form of headquarters. And then when I come up, it was like I come out big bay doors. So it's up those parts of like we're constantly traveling within what we perceive to be sleep state. Sometimes we wake up foggy in the morning, and it's because we haven't settled. We haven't quite the spirit aspect of it hasn't quite settled back within ourselves. We haven't connected the physical spirit together at that point. That's why I say, like, going from the spirit, spirit realm, what have you, to the physical world, because we're always traveling in a spirit form. Say that right. It's part of why people don't always see anything all the time, or they feel like they just cold bipolar. Nope. I call it I call it spirit. I call it jumpers. So we spirit jumpers because everybody's trying to find their way home, and then as they're finding their way home, the different spirits, it's like they recognize one another, and that's where we get that not understanding the spirit. The spirit is everything's spirit. It's a part of if something is going, if something is leaving your life, or if something doesn't go the way you thought it was going, what that is spirit's way of saying there's something. You may not see it right now, but there's something better for you, and you need a hurt a bit to get there. Yeah, hence the Iron Maiden shit. Some people think that like there's certain times like I can handle certain like head banging music, not when it's cursing and swearing and all that other stuff, but like when it's got a good it's like thrash, ding 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 ding. I like doing that because it actually helps. Like it helps because it shakes up the energy. It moves the energy, so it's like a vibration, and that's what dancing is. It's a vibration. Music is a vibration, and it depends on what vibration you're receiving, of how it's going to make you in the mind or the body feel. Spirit. The spirit don't like it. The spirit gets agitated. So you get uneasy. Sometimes in certain music you can start getting extremely aggressive. Sometimes you can get happy and joyful, and sometimes you can just zone right out. And a lot of time I like to do when I just get, like, especially if I'm in a crowd out somewhere, I just zone the spirit. To be in spirit, yes. Yeah, I just like it was like the other is just like meow. Put it today, será? Today, I said before, my channel's not for everyone. Sometimes I'll make you laugh, make you cry, piss you off, make you angry. Sometimes you want to slap me, you want to like punch me upside the head, or some even want to throw snake attacks. And it's like, okay, you know, I totally understand because sometimes, I probably feel like I want to do that to myself. Like, what were you thinking? Tutto riesce a dire tutto riesce lì? It was like, holy snapping old man. Like, lady, are you spastic? No, I'm just agitated. Do I laugh at myself? No, I laugh at spirit. It's like, this is the thing I heard me. You should ask that. Well, yes, okay. I just got told you do laugh at yourself still. So it's like eating. Look up and you got to look at doing it. What's the thing? It's like right now, it's the shifting. You ever get twitches? Because we can get twitches. And it's okay. They say you're spastic. Okay, I got a few twitches going on because we're shifting. Like sometimes you can feel like you got shocked. Well, that's because you just got a fire up. Something sparked. Something connected. Esto tú dices que te puede ver online. El punto que yo sabe que I just yep. Try being the person. no, um, it's that part of understanding yourself and being being and sitting with your spirit. Because your spirit is actually all around you. Your spirit can be this side, your spirit can be that side, depending on the frame or state of mind you are in. What are you experiencing? What are you seeing on your physical life to cause you a reaction within your spirit, in in heart? What are you experiencing? You're seeing it, you're experiencing it. But why are you experiencing it? Because it's something that you're feeling in, because you're seeing something out there that's not yours. So you're reacting. Right now, I'm experiencing like, you ever watched the movie The Grinch? Right? See it says, see it. Okay, well, first he hears no singing at Christmas because it ended up that it wasn't about the presents, it was about the family, the connection, the togetherness, celebrating the spirit. He felt that yesterday, but when he realized that it wasn't about the gifts, his heart grew, and it was like he was having a heart attack. It was like a right out of you. That was the expansion. That was that lighting up. When you come to your own truth, that's when we come to the truth. That's when we come to the true kingdom. And our kingdom is being, because we want, it's like you want a magic thing, okay? When the true magic, ultimate magic, is you can have like magic or feel like magic or have its energy or its movement, but that all happens because of our mindset and how we feel within. Those are the real keys to it. Is no numbers, but everything communicates, right? That was the same when I was going into the sun, because everything is actually now crystals. So it was like I was seeing 3, and then 6, and then 9, and it just kept duplicating, and then it was just like a huge, bright light. It wasn't yellow, it wasn't white, it wasn't orange, and it wasn't red. It was as if you take all colors, as they say, you take the colors and combine them, the reflection, like it is in a pure white, but when you put it in the light, it beams out this color. It was great. The spirit had to get me to let go because I was fighting with it. And I could tell I was fighting because I feel everything. It's like everything was leaving, trying to leave my body. Go like that. Come to catch it and bring it home, bring it back. Because I knew I was dying. And then this person said, yesterday, that's why he said, for the spirit, he said, well, where's the proof you died? Who's seen you die? I said, you fucker. I said, seriously? That's why they call him an old bastard. And that's the spirit. Well, everything here is the spirit. It's not practical. I just heard it's like when you tell me yourself, what's your future? What do you want for yourself now? Because your now is always your future. Whether that makes sense or not. So it's what do you want for yourself? Because your future is what you want for yourself and what you go towards, what you work on, instead of listening to what other people say you can and can't do, or are unable to. Because some people say, "Oh, you're not smart enough, or you can't do that because you need these credentials." But you may not have any credentials, and you may be better than the one that has the credentials. But because they say you don't have a lot of paper, so that's when you go and you look into finding people that see your worth, see what you are capable of doing, and then have your own business up and running. Because it should be up to the person whether or not they want to go to that person, even if they don't have a piece of paper. Because I had somebody say to me one day when I showed that I have I have 6 certificates, 3 being in mediation and negotiation, conflict resolution, and the other one, the other 3 parts being in a certificate of presentation development or something like that. And then I have my paralegal. And when I showed that, because everybody likes to go to a doctor because they get a piece of paper, it was at University College. Something that was to be taken over 2 years. I did it in 3 months because I wanted to get it done. Most people just like do so much at a time. But when I said about that, they said, "Oh well, it's just a piece of paper." I don't know that. I know that it's just a piece of paper. But there's so many out there that think that everybody should have to have a piece of paper in order to prove what they can do. Well, some people actually cheat their way through. Right? Just because they have a piece of paper, that's a lot of theory. It's not by experience. And experience can speak mountains. Kalau tudo na Venezuela deveria ser uma criada. Personally, I'd rather have somebody with experience. And I know you like for these ones that feel like they have a paper, they don't have the experience. And you said you don't have a paper. You should not spend enormous amounts of money to do something that you can go through by experience. Because they all should be by experience, by visual audio, instead of programming a bunch of stuff that just makes everything more complicated, more stressful, filled with shit causing anxiety. It's a part of remembering our ancestors have been finding because they could go to last. And somebody told me that they actually have a way of, like, I mean, they had it in ancient times, and they said that we just found it. To lay pavement and stuff, like like concrete, anything like that. They're able to make it where it heals itself. Because your body, you can heal it yourself. For the placebo effect, if you don't believe in God or anything like that, some people still believe in the placebo effect. It's not, right? If you're fearful of something, you will create it. You will create it within your own body. If you read a lot of things, you end up taking on. Like say if you're trying to search for what may possibly be wrong with your body or something like that. Some people become hypochondriacs by doing that so that they never feel well. Let's see. I just heard the word conversion disorder. It is a spirit thing, and if it has a resemblance or anything to being a conversion disorder, then the one that brought it forth did not treat it as such. It was treated as a mental issue opposed to a spiritual growth. Because the other way was profitable, all involved in the especially when you're going through, like, we're doing that. I had that diagnosis. I even told them, record it. But when I went to try to get the recordings, well, I wasn't allowed. And I was going catatonic. It was like I was just, I could hear, I couldn't move, just there, just catatonic. And if people touched me, if I went catatonic and walking and I just let freeze frame because the brain stopped, it was like it was a misfire or something disconnected. And that was because of the brain injury that I never looked at. So I healed myself from a brain injury. I healed myself from whatever this is called right here. Whenever I go unconscious, they grind it. And one day they took and they come over here and they got me right there and started grinding. And I started spinning. My body was suffocating in on itself. It was squeezing to death. And I was asking for help. I was telling people, like, I'm not well, I'm not well. Doctors are wrong. And then as it was getting worse, I started, that's when I started seeing things. It was like I was looking through photos. And at one point, I seen myself laying in a hospital bed in a coma. And at one point, I was looking at a black t shirt. And I was on the black t shirt, I was seeing fireworks. And I was seeing like fireworks, like cartoon characters. And then I seen the word SOS. And I said, and I spelled it out. I said SOS. I spelled it out because that was my part of me saying, I needed help. But it's been nobody listens to the person who knows, oh boy, they were listening to a system. I had home care at the time. Home care I was throwing up like nothing was coming out, and it was very bloody, and I was getting like a fluid, and I was able to blow bubbles with it. And it was a clear head, and it had crystals in it. And I got made to walk to the ambulance and was told I was thinking. But I'm not looking for people to feel sorry for me. I got through it, but I know that spirit is it's coming forward for other people to see the light, to look at their own experiences. And then I started my business towards the very end when I was dying. And my nephew was in the other room, and I told these people, get the fuck. I told them, get the fuck out of my room now, because it like I was like I could feel myself like dying, and I fight it. The day after that, I was out on my couch, and then that's when I was just like, I lay down, and I laid down, and that's when I started going into shock. And spirit told me that I had a high spirit. I had to let go. Just panic because it was like a suffocation. And when you can't sleep, it makes it all much scarier. And feeling yourself in shock. It's almost like a release. The panic, then it becomes a release. Just get it. When things happen quick, it doesn't happen slow. So my feet, I just kind of got myself. It felt like torture because of the not knowing, but it was very painful. But I wouldn't change that for the world. Because it gave me a whole different perspective. Oh shit. Sorry, my TikTok just went out. Oh crap. My phone just went off. over the rim. Okay, shut it. I'm just looking for my thing here. Son of a bugger. Get in there. This is so with me. I'm just yeah. Chew my fingers, man. Yeah, the goat. Because I'm not even doing it. Okay. Oh, yeah. This was wow. Sorry about that. I don't know where I left off on TikTok. Thank you. My YouTube channel is Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self. Um, oh, my phone died, so I apologize for that. Well, no, I don't apologize for that because there's nothing to apologize for. I thought I had it plugged in, but apparently I didn't. So, um, yeah. Okay, so what that spin is all and that's why I say it's spirit to spirit. Spirits are storing to prove their stuff because it's something that everybody's people are done fighting and speak up and speak your truth. Bring your story forward so that you can rewrite your book, rewrite your story, or not interfering with others. And I know people hate it. It's not about trying to write someone else's story and narrate their story. Because I told this person yesterday that they narrate, and it's that part of like, why do you do that? It's like, here, let me narrate everything I do, but I can't. But I know that it's that part of narrating because it's the part of speaking things into existence. You didn't like that, did you? This is spirit to spirit. It's like, why are you speaking pain into the world for everyone? And I know what it is. It's because, well, that's the pain they feel themselves. Because those are the ones that feel like the world owes them something when the world owes them nothing at all. They owe it to themselves. Que todo eso, I mean, it's a part, the spirit knows who I'm talking to because I talk to the spirit's face. But when you try talking to the spirit's face, It's always reversed. That, oh, well, you're picking, or it's like, nope, I'm speaking my truth. I'm like saying, like, it's not about tit for tat. It's like, is it a tit for tat with you, or do you think that you're that you can do or say whatever you want to other people, but those people aren't supposed to say shit to you, or if they had a mouthful, that they're supposed to learn to stand on their necks, that they're supposed to allow you to take a stick or a cane to them. This is the spirit, and the spirit knows who it is. It's like you love them. I just heard some people don't want to be loved. Is it that some people don't want to be loved, or is it because they don't know how to be loved? Legitimate question. We are allowed to ask questions, and if someone gets mad at you asking a question, well, what do they have to hide? Why don't they want to answer that question? And it's the part of using your heart. Some people say the heart will lie to you. And then in that aspect of it, I have to ask, is it the heart that's lying to you? Or is it an insecurity that's lying to you? What's his finger coming up for? I'm not very techy because, I know that like the actual true AT is alpha technology. The alpha technology, we say that, you alpha omega, square, you know, we weren't put here to be in pain. Some people say that the first existence was not pain. It was the one that created, lived within it, and then someone got jealous and wanted to destroy it. It's like putting a virus into a program and then finding the antivirus. Well, isn't the antivirus like very individual? So why can't you think of the human body? Doesn't mean you're it doesn't mean you're a robot. It means that you're understanding your own life. When you just sit with yourself, you allow yourself to feel spirit. Doesn't mean that it's someone in the back or beside you, it's just spirit, an engulfed spirit. You feel it, you actually feel it, you feel that vibration, feel it's there, and whole life is almost like hell until I surrender to my own truths and shadows. And I got there by simply to spirit, to the messages, the guidance. I go there and because all it's like that. And then I started realizing the spirit is still being able to talk from one heart to the other heart with the person that may have caused you pain or left without answer. Or any part of that healing comes from here. It's not always about speaking aloud, because speaking through the heart has a much bigger, deeper impact. And with that, I was healing. Yep, it's moving up, and it's like a it's like a heavy heart goes to a light heart. It's not about tuning your heart to ice, because that's what we're supposed to be healing. The heart is cold because it's held on to so much emotion. And when you allow yourself to experience your feelings where they need to be experienced, not here, it's the will, because that's what we push. If we don't want to look. So when you start doing that, what happens? Start releasing. And where do we start releasing? you start crying. And what is crying? Crying in tears, right? Tears is like water. It's melting the heart. It's ruining it. And that's what the master comes in. It's asking yourself, asking your own understanding, your spirit, connection with the universe. And it's not easy. It's like I know that like, it's not something that happens always real fast. It can have its jolts, but it's always it's the realization, seeing yourself. Do you ever look and feel like you went in such a daze that it was like you looked right through somebody, or you had the illusion like somebody was standing there and it was like they were looking right through you? They were. You were experiencing a switch in vibration of frequency, which was changing you, and they became invisible. Sounds fucked up. Yep, don't I know it? And I'm the one sitting here speaking it. So you think I don't know how I look? But it's a part of I really don't care how I look unless you understand what it is that I'm talking about. You're gonna know, but you're not gonna learn how. You're not going to understand unless you hear people like myself who explain. And it's not easy for the human brain to comprehend in that sense, but it's a part of the, some call it the third eye, but it's the cyclops. The cyclops is using, it's like if you look through a telescope, what you do, you're looking through one hole, but what ends up happening when you're looking through that one hole is you're combining both eyes in order to look through them. It's like cross-eyed. They're looking into the third eye. That's how they find their intuition. And then it all combines with the heart. It's the balance of the center. They say about the center of the earth, the grounding. Where does electricity, like where does lightning really come from? Because people say that lightning comes from the ground. So I'm going to ask this because I have every right or reason, like every right to ask it. The sun is that not like the center between heaven and earth? Heaven, earth. The heart is the center. sun. And it's in the core too. So is it that reflection from outward? We're seeing what's in is out. It's like taking a ball, taking something and turning it inside out. When you want to see your experience. If it's a reflection of both sides, like the mirror, the mirroring. When you look in your gadgets, you're looking at your gadgets, you're recording something, or sometimes it seems like you're talking on the phone or on messenger or anything on the screen, you can see yourself up there, but you're reflecting. Like right now, when I look in where I'm looking into TikTok, it looks like my hair is on the left side. But now, yeah, it's like the mirroring. When I got them together, the ponytail is together, but if I put them over top of one another, in one, it would look like it was on one side and the other side. So it's turning it backwards too. Inside out, upside down, backwards. Yeah, we're rewinding backwards. That's it, yeah, going backwards. The part of history repeats itself, and we're the one that keeps repeating history because we're not catching on to the deja vu aspect of it. It was raining out really hard earlier. Thundering. There was a little flash of lightning. I did a video and I posted it on my TikTok. I don't know if you can see the lightning in it, but the thunder, and I was like, just kind of channel the rain and what have you, because it all has a noise, it all has a frequency, it all has a sound. And I thought they took what he said and then you could get the guys. Japan e tutto e tutto push it. Okay. Yeah, don't wait for opportunity. Create it. My great niece told me that. She was only 4 she picked it out. I know probably didn't read it, but she could see the look of it. Okay. So I guess right now I'm gonna leave it there. Four. Oh, sorry. Okay, so before I go, I like to thank everyone, right? Because I really appreciate you being here. And if you just come in for a split second and left, well, you came in. I just sometimes to people, I go and certain, like some, I'll just have a look at to observe and see where others are coming from. And just everybody has a little, do like a dish. Ito to eh. Yeah. No, that's backwards. So, see, told ya. There's nothing remarkable about it. All one has to do is hit the right keys at the right time, and the instrument plays itself. Okay? It's like human blood in an instrument. Because once your mind gets set on it, that's how you really learn how to play. I take on this stuff. Just, experiencing, hearing the sounds, feeling the vibrations. So, with that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting, willing to receive and accept. I want you all to be big, bold, and brave. Most importantly, be yourself. Be your authentic self. True to yourself. True to others. And be who you are, not who somebody says you are or you have to be. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And know that you are more powerful and you have more strength than you are. So send you all love. Cinco today, so ito ya. Решили это? Или вы взаимно